Hello, welcome to Reading Rascals. I'm Miss Shannon. Happy fall, Rascals. This is a wonderful season to explore all the beauty we have in nature. For example, take your children to see the changing of the leaves. Do you live in one of those states where you see the beautiful yellows, reds, and orange? If you do, this is a wonderful time to share that with your young child. Secondly, use this time to taste apples and pears. Your child might surprise you. Maybe they've never tasted a green apple or a yellow apple. What I like to do is cut them in small pieces and have your child either close their eyes or give them something to cover them with and let them tell you which one they preferred. They might even surprise themselves if they've never tried a yellow apple or a green apple. I will be showing you 3 fun, easy activities that you can do with your children this year. I thought it would be helpful, parents, if I showed you the resources that I use, then you could later replicate the games or put a little spin on it and make it your own. First, I will begin with a pie pumpkin. I like this size for your children's hands. I also like the sweetness that a pie pumpkin has if you choose to eat the pumpkin seeds. I think you'll enjoy them more. First, I would like your children to feel how heavy your pie pumpkin is. They can weigh it, they can roll it, they can touch it. Give them all that opportunity to see the size of the pumpkin. Then you're going to ask them to give a prediction. How many seeds are in their little pumpkin? Now, your children might not write their numbers yet. If they don't, for example, if they guess 52 seeds are in this pumpkin, you can dot a 5, you can dot a 2 for them and let them trace over it. Or you could write them for them. If your children are a little bit older, let them do the writing. So that's one activity that they can do. Once their hands are clean and they've guessed how many seeds they think are inside, just make a little hole for them and let their hands explore. This is a great activity to feel texture, the pulp. Then they get to pull all those seeds out and put them in a bowl. Once they've pulled all the seeds out, you can do a quick count and tell your children who is the closest. It also might surprise the kids based off of the weight, how many seeds are really in their pumpkin. If you choose to make these pumpkin seeds, it's very simple. Just put a little grease on your pan or a little spray so they don't stick. I like to put mine straight from the pumpkin without rinsing them. It just saves the flavor for you. Right on your dish to put in the oven at 200 to 250 for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how crispy you like your pumpkins. And then you just turn them every so often so they don't burn. And then see if your children like the taste of warm pumpkin seeds. You might be surprised. Our second activity today is what I call pumpkin spin. Now, I used a larger pumpkin. This is an artificial pumpkin, but you could use a real pumpkin that's just not cut. As you can see, I chose only consonants, purposely leaving out the vowels for this game. I like to make sure that your uppercase and your lowercase are directly next to each other so the children see uppercase H, lowercase h. Even though they look different, they are the same letter. So I just used a Sharpie. Once you create your pumpkin with as many consonants as you could fit on the size of your pumpkin, then you will take a spinner. I just found one from one of my board games. So I'll need a spinner, my pumpkin with my uppercase and lowercase phonics letters written on them, only consonants. And then I made mine out of flour, but cornstarch also works just as well. Your kids, when they go to school, they probably have a texture table, which is wonderful for their little fingers to feel everything, but it's hard to have that at our home. So maybe we don't have the space. So I just chose a pretty flat, you can see it, container with a lid. The lid is important because you want to be able to store it, or also if you put Play-Doh in there, you want to keep it fresh. So again, I chose flour, but cornstarch works for this activity just as easily. The last game we're going to play today are I use it as a guessing game for your children. I picked a few little costume items that I thought for Halloween would be fun. You want to give them a few clues and then see if they can guess who you're going to be. For example, if you wanted to be a gecko, for example, you need to give them some clues. I can change colors. I start with a G, G. Some people think I'm a lizard. Give them ideas that they can start thinking about. I used bumblebee, ghost, conductor, but you can use any games you would like. But again, you are giving the clues and they are trying to guess. Depending on their age, your clues can get a little more in depth. And I would say 4 to 5 clues would be perfect for this age group. I purposely don't use 20 questions because I think that's a lot for these younger kids. Keep it to 4 or 5 and they should have fun guessing the clues. Now, parents, you have all the information you need. Now, Rascals, let's play. Okay, so what we're going to start with is our spinner. Now, when we spin, show me all your fingers. You're going to use your thumb and your third finger with your pointer up at the sky. And you are going to flick. So here we go, Rascals. Give the first flick to see what we land on. Okay, we landed on a number 3. So while Miss Shannon is spinning the pumpkin, you are going to spin 3 times. So get your body up and spin with the pumpkin. 1, good, spin around. 2, one more time. 3. Now we landed on the number 3. So I will share 3 letters. We will start with H. I want you to put your hand up and pretend that you're blowing hot air. Is my letter H, my uppercase H, my lowercase h. Is the sound I need. I will turn it to my letter N. Here's my uppercase N and my lowercase n. N makes the sound N. I put the tongue up at the top, right behind my teeth. The letter N, N. Okay, Rascals, I gave you 2 letters so far. Do you remember who they are? H, N, N. Now we're moving to R. Big R, little r. Now R is my big dog. So make a fist and give my big dog sound. Ruh. Did you hear it? Ruh. Okay, so if you noticed, we spun 3 times and I gave you 3 letters. Let's see how you listened. Who is my letter that makes the sound? Do you remember what it looked like? You're right. If you said H, that is who I need. For words like happy, hippo, Halloween. Then I used a sound that I use my tongue behind my teeth. Mm. You think you see it? You're right. If you guessed N, you were correct. That is my N sound. N for night, nice, no. Lastly, I chose my big dog, R sound. Can you see it? You're right. It's the R, R. Run, rainbow, rest. Now, if you wanted to add on to this game, we can build it in our flower. So I will take the top off and you're going to put your little rascal fingers in our flour or cornstarch, whichever works better for you. So I like to give Rascals, who's that big dog sound? Ruh. Remember? You're right, it's my R. So what I would do is I would trace a uppercase R and your children are going to go right over it. So if you add the flour to our pumpkin spin, you will open up your flour and pick one of the letters that we just practiced. Now let's do the spin one more time, Rascals. So make your thumb, your pointer finger goes up and your third finger touches. So you are flicking almost like you're flicking a little bug out of your way, gently, right, Rascals? So here we go. Flick, and we landed now on a number. Can you read that number, Rascals? If you say 5, you are correct. Now, I would like you to see if you can spin your body the other direction than we did the last time. Here we go. I'm spinning it a different direction. 1, spin your bodies, Rascals. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Now I'm going to pick 5 letters for us to go over. Let's start with this one down here. This is my uppercase D and my lowercase d. The sound I need for D, D. You hear that? D, like dad, dog, door, D. Then I'm going to look over here to my W. Uppercase W, lowercase w, my W sound. W. Water, welcome, walrus. So now I showed you your D, duh, and your W, W. Now I like to do these two friends together. These are my best friend letters. They travel together and they make the same sound. C and K. That's why I put them next to each other on the pumpkin to help you. So here's how I like to work on C and K. I jump back and forth. Come on, Rascals, do it with me. C, K. Now I go to the other side. C, K. Now go faster. C, K, C, K, C, K. Now get your hands together and give this sound like I'm crashing rocks. C and K are your best friend letters. So we want to learn them together and in that order. C, K. 2 more, Rascals. Now, here is my deep sound. My uppercase B, my lowercase b. B. See how deep that sound is? B. Like in words like bug, butterfly, B. Now, so far, you have had 4 for this round. Let's see what you remember from it. Who are your 2 best friend letters, Rascals? Do you remember? They make this sound. If you said C and K, you are right. C-K, C-K, K. Who was that letter, Rascals, we needed for the D, like dad? Let's see if you can remember it. Do you see it on the pumpkin? I'm looking for the D sound here. You're right, it's the D. I can't trick you today, you're so smart. Now we're going 1 more, Rascals, to finish our 5 for this spin. My M. M uppercase, M lowercase. This is that one where I like to put my hand on my stomach and give that sound. Mmm. Mom made muffins. Give that, it was so delicious sound. Mmm. That's who I need for M. Now I like to show you, Rascals, M and W at the same time because we can get confused. I want you to look at M up like mountain. And I want you to look at W. See how the points are down? Think down like water. When you're walking on the beach, that water is down by your toes. W for water, W. M for mountain. Mm. Okay, Rascals, I just showed you 8 letters. At another time, we will go back and see how well you heard that. Now, our last game today is, can you guess who Miss Shannon is going to play for Halloween? A few clues. I like to drive in the front of a train. I like to tell everybody, all aboard. I start with this letter. Yes, it's one of my best friend letters. Can you hear that C sound? Who am I? Let's think. I drive the train. I sit in the front. I like to tell everybody all aboard. And I start with the K sound? You're right. Miss Shannon is the conductor. Did you hear that? Conductor. Nice job if you guessed who I was going to play on that one. Now, my next one, I start with my G sound, my G, G. A lot of times I come out around Halloween. Sometimes I am nice. Sometimes I am not. Sometimes I go through houses and people can hear me talking to them. G. A lot of times I am in white. Who do you think Miss Shannon is playing? Let's review the clues. I come out around Halloween time. I start with the G sound. A lot of times I'm in a house and I'm talking. Who am I? If you thought I was a ghost, you were right. My ghost. Nice guessing. Okay, I'll give you one more, Rascals. This is one of the costumes Miss Shannon is thinking about. I make a buzzing sound, zzz, but I really begin with my deep sound, b. I can sting, but I also make honey and pollinate all of our food. What am I, Rascals? Do you know? Let's see. I make this sound, zzz. I start with this letter, B for bee. I make honey. If you said I am a bumblebee, you are correct. This is just a fun way to tell your friends who you're going to play for Halloween without telling them. See if you can give clues to what costume you're going to play, Rascals. Parents, Rascals, I hope you had fun playing these games, and I will see you next time. You could also see me on my website at readingrascals.org. Take care.